Welcome to the Morning Report, a production of fightbackmedia.com, the #1 source of urban conservative information in America.
Well, good morning and welcome to the Morning Report. The Morning Report is a production of fightbackmedia.com, fightbackmedia.com, and fightbackmediatv.com. Today, we're not just following the money, we're watching it burn. We're diving into the world of government DEI spending and asking that age-old question that no one on the left dares to. Is all this diversity worth the dollars we're dumping into it? Let's go ahead and talk about something that the mainstream media won't. $40 million in DEI spending at the University of Wisconsin system alone. $40 million in one system for one state by itself. Now, that's not classroom upgrades. It's not scholarships, which would be the way to fix a lot of things to get kids in. But anyway, it's not faculty. It's not pay raises. It's not any of that stuff. What's it for? Bureaucracy. Offices, consultants, trainings, all flying under the banner that says equity. But it rarely defines what success even looks like. We never know. Okay, so how do we know when we get there? What's it look like when we get there? What's the place look like when you look around? What's it look like? Well, it looks like America. This is already America. This is Wisconsin. This is the land of the original white people. Anyway, so over at the Department of Labor, they had 380 unused Microsoft 365 licenses, 250 licenses for Visual Studio, which is a product that's free, by the way, and over 11,000 Adobe Acrobat licenses over at HUD that nobody's using. I could use one. I don't need a DOS check. Somebody could hook me up with one of those Adobe Acrobat licenses. That would be super cool. So tell me, how are these DEI offices efficient? The E doesn't stand for efficiency. It does not. All right. Here's a dirty little secret that these DEI programs don't come with accountability. Nobody's measuring performance because a lot of these are based on emotion. So no one's measuring accountability or performance. Nobody's asking, did this $400,000 workshop on microaggressions improve a single hiring metric? And worse, no one's allowed to challenge it without being labeled racist, sexist, or phobic, or some such BS. DEI offices have become the new HR fiefdoms, right? They create their own jobs. They only report to themselves. They produce paper-thin outcomes. So that's not diversity. It's a jobs program for activists. And it's not just inefficiency, it's mission drift. We see it all the time. As the Department of Defense, $80 million was diverted into DEI programming that had nothing to do with national defense. Let me help you. The Army has two jobs, and really two jobs only: to kill people and break things. However, $80 million was diverted into DEI programming that had nothing to do with national defense. All right. Now here's where it gets a little spicy. DEI hiring practices in some cases are walking a legal tightrope. Racial quotas, group identity as a hiring factor, admissions based on ancestry, not aptitude. Now, the problem is that this is a violation of the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. You can't just promote fairness by embedding discrimination. You can't just say we're going to be fair now by saying, okay, here's all the people we're not going to hire now. We're going to discriminate against y'all. Get over it. Because this is their mentality. This is get over it. Because of all the years of discrimination that happened before, we're going to decide that now we can discriminate against you, white dude. Sorry, white dude. Sorry, straight white dude. Suck it. That's the mentality. It's crazy. You just can't. You just can't do that. All right. So what should we do instead? It's simple. Merit. Now, when people say merit to those on the left, they get a little crazy. What no one is really talking about is that how do we make sure that the playing field is equal? Well, what we have to do is make sure that all the players get to the game able to do. All the players get to the game able to do. So if we are, I don't know, pick a profession, pick a thing, and we don't have enough, let's say, women, or we don't have a lot of women in that field, we have to look at a couple of things. First of all, do women want to do it? And if the women who are wanting to do it, are they up to grade level? And if they're not, if we're finding that the women aren't up to grade level, then what can we do before they get there to make sure they have this merit, that they have the what it takes to do? And I'm using women, but we could use any racial group that these people use, anything you want, we use. And institute, instead of a culture of diversity, culture of excellence. Institute, instead of a culture of diversity, culture of excellence. Institute, instead of a culture of diversity, culture of excellence. This is where we are failing as a culture. We need to institute a culture of excellence at every level, from preschool through grad school, a culture of excellence, because that ultimately solves all of this. If you put in effort in the beginning, then you don't have to put in as much effort at the end, because meritocracy works then, because you've had this culture of excellence. So does it create a diverse workforce? Sure. But you have to start with a functioning education system, one that teaches excellence and responsibility, not grievance. If the government wants inclusion, it should start by including taxpayers in this conversation, because we're footing the bill, right? This conversation that we're having right now. We need a culture of excellence and a culture of responsibility, because that will create, all by itself, with no activists and no marches and no programs and no spending at the federal level or the government level, that will create the diversity that they say they're looking for. But what we're going to find out is that's not what they're looking for. Not at all. Look, real inclusion isn't about checkboxes. It's about opportunity. But the DEI industrial complex, that's about control, compliance, and the ever popular cash. It's time we stop writing blank checks to ideologues and start demanding performance from our public institutions. Hi, again, this is the Mona Report. My name is Willie Lawson. Keep your head up, your heart right, and your wallet close. We're just getting started.